So if you have a dirty mind, watch this. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Car Mechanic Simulator. Now today we're going to be checking out the Lotus DLC, which adds cars that are a Lotus. But first, we're going to check out this called the garage customization. And you see here we have multiple different things. But the first thing that we're going to be checking is floor A. So I've never tried this before. Let's see. So options list. So if I go over here, well, that's cool. So what different things do we have? It's kind of cool, all green. And there's like this darker look. You know, this reminds me of one of the old car mechanic simulators. I might get this one. Then you see you got this set up, just all these different ones. Oh, that's nice. That's nice too. So there's 20 different options. You can get wood, which I don't know. I mean, it looks cool, but so I do like the look of this. I think I'm gonna go with this one. Then floor B, what's that? Okay, so that's like the things around. So I'm just gonna choose the random one. The drain gates, which is what? Oh, those things again. I'll get that one. Now wall A is that wall over there. So let's see here. What matches? So here's what it was. Then we'll go for this one. Yeah. So that's like the outline of everything. So what options do we have? 9 or 10 options. So we can go with like the wood look again, which is what I think I'm going to go for. So all I'll see is like these things around here. Okay, I think I'm going to go with like the completely wood look on here. So that's also wood. I'm going like full out wood on this. So the office, which is over there. So what should I go for with that? Here's stock. You can go for black. Then we'll go for the black style because that looks nice. So here's column A. I'm also going to go black with that. Column B, black. Okay, there we go. So this is our new garage style. I think it looks pretty good. So I think now what we need to do is go out and buy a Lotus. Alright, here we have this car. We're gonna bid on it. Are there any other Lotuses in here though? Nope, I don't think so. Start the auction. Car's only worth at 13,000. And this has a inline 4. I think there was another model of this car that had a V8. First things first, we're going to, that was a lot of lag there. We're gonna dyno these. Now let's move this beautiful 700 horsepower beast. And keep in mind, this is like at the wheels. And, last episode I did kind of make a mistake here. So, hey, look at this here. This is what it makes at the wheels. And before, like, at a mile above sea level, I watched this one video of a Hellcat being dynoed. And it did make around 500 and something horsepower. So basically this is a lot more than it actually is. So let's just take a look at this. So this is a, I think, custom engine, maybe, possibly, I don't know. Yeah, it is, because it has like certain parts that are made for this engine. One thing that we need to do with both cars, because they're auction cars, is they have no oil in them whatsoever, so we need to put some in. This is what it made from factory. What will it make now?
What the fuck?
No, I don't. Wait, I closed it.
God. Now in this engine has a engine cover, so we need to take that off to actually get to the engine. This engine only makes a little bit more horsepower than the other engine, and it makes actually less torque. So this engine has aged a lot more, I can see that. Now the first engine we're going to be working on is this. Now my idea is I can make the engine look like it's brand new. So what I was thinking was like I replaced the engine block, like all these visible parts, like the engine and that stuff. But all of the stuff that's on the inside of the engine will not be replaced. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add performance parts to the outside. Okay, so I made a mistake again where I started to just record here, but I thought I did, but I didn't. So far what we've gotten is we've taken off most of this engine block and take up that oil filter while we're up here. But anyway, I was just getting ready to disassemble the gearbox, and it's fine because you'll be able to see me assemble it, which is just as good because you'll be able to see the process that is occurring. Now what I was going to do is just start a process where I was going to disassemble some of the suspension parts. Okay, so where we're at right now, we're gonna take off this gearbox, but we need to take off the starter. Yeah, there we go. Take that off, and now we can get to the gearbox. While we're looking in here, I don't think there's any oil in the oil pan. No, there's not. Good. While we're down here, I guess I can start to just disassemble what is here of the engine, because all this down here is gonna be replaced, because, well, I just want to see how crappy I can make the inside of the engine while keeping, like, the outside portion good. So it looks good from the outside, but it looks horrible from the inside if you were looking at the engine from the inside. Don't know how you do that. You probably have some super mutant powers, but I don't give a fuck. And I couldn't give any more of a fuck, even if I tried. Now this is kind of a different... It's kind of the same shape as all the other gearboxes, but just a bit different. I need to take everything off of here. This thing probably shifted like a donkey. And when I say that, I mean not as in it shifted fast, it shifted like horrible. This thing has independent suspension, as you can see from here. They're not connected to each other. And there goes the camshaft. And in a second, the engine block will go. Engine block gone. Now let's just do that real quick. So we have that ignition coil in there. Here's the new engine block. Performance fuel filter. Performance ignition distributor. And basically everything I'm putting on here is going to be performance from the outside looking. So that, as I've said earlier, it looks pretty good from the outside, but the inside is completely screwed to the anus. I don't know how you can be screwed to the anus, but you are. Chem gear. It's funny how we're using some inline 6 parts, like for timing stuff. It's inline 6 parts. Now the water pump pulley, 6 parts, like for timing stuff. It's inline 6 part pump pulley. Let's put that one on because the older one is completely rusted over like crap. And then now I'm gonna have one piston that is a modified piston, but all the other ones are gonna be completely junkers. I really am liking having this wood on the floor. It looks pretty nice. So let's put that crankshaft in. Pretty much fucked. Now let's put these 3 things in, and then we'll also eventually have to put in some rod caps so that the pistons don't decide to move on their own and do random crap. Flywheel, got a modified version of it because I want to try to at least make the same amount of horsepower or a little bit more than what this engine makes by itself. So I thought that a little bit extra, like in the gearbox and stuff, wouldn't hurt anything. So yeah, because like imagine how bad that would run, having one piston completely fine and then having all the other pistons completely terrible. Like just the difference in like how the piston fires would be so funny. I want to see something like that in real life, where someone has a modified piston that like produces a lot more power from one, but then the other ones just don't make enough power, so it's kind of funny like that. starter.
What the fuck?
Starter in. Oil filter, we're gonna have to do that while the engine is up in the air, which we will have to do later. Because, I mean, like, I'm not just gonna lift up the engine right now. Right, here's the modified piston. Piston 4 is gonna be modified. So I'm gonna go for lowest on there. Same thing for this one. So essentially, the highest piston percent is going to be 100, and the lowest is going to be 30%. Like, I know this game doesn't have any... How many fucking times has this happened? Roll the tape.
Perhaps one of the most interesting words in the English language today is the word fuck. Just by its sound can describe pain, pleasure, hate, and love. In English, fuck falls into many grammatical categories. As a transitive verb, for instance, John fucked Shirley. As an intransitive verb, Shirley fucks. Its meaning's not always sexual. It can be used as an adjective, such as, John's doing all the fucking work. As a noun, I don't give a fuck. As part of a word, abso-fucking-lutely, or, and as almost every word in a sentence, fuck the fucking fuckers. As you must realize, there aren't too many words with the versatility of fuck, as in these examples describing situations such as fraud, I got fucked at the used car lot. Dismay, oh fuck it. Trouble, I guess I'm really fucked now. Aggression, don't fuck with me, buddy. Difficulty, I don't understand this fucking question. Inquiry, who the fuck was that? Dissatisfaction, I don't like what the fuck is going on here. Incompetence, he's a fuck off. Dismissal, why don't you go outside and play hide and go fuck yourself? I'm sure you can think of many more examples. With all of these multi-purpose applications, how can anyone be offended when you use the word? We say, use this unique, flexible word more often in your daily speech. It will identify the quality of your character immediately. Say it loudly and proudly. Fuck you!
30%. Like, I know this game doesn't really have anything, like, involving, like, how an engine is gonna run. It's just, what the percentage is, and will it run? The game isn't gonna be like, okay, this engine has half the engine screwed and half the engine good, so the engine's gonna run not that good, because it's weird. The game doesn't have a mind like that. It just says, okay, does it run? Yes, okay, it runs beautifully. That's all I think. Nothing else. And this is such a small engine, it's so fast to build, unlike a V8. A V8 takes so long to just disassemble and reassemble, it's kind of repetitive. Yeah, but we obviously know V8s are better. That's a given. So we got performance spark plugs. Now we can put on our ignition wires. Let's also go down here and put on our exhaust manifold. We're just about done. Only to put in 4 rod caps, and then just a few things on the engine, and then we can see what type of power we make from it. Here we got our 2 modified carburetors, so they look pretty lit. It's like the red goes together. Red and the chrome, yeah, looks pretty good. See, so right now, if you looked at this, you'd say, oh, well, that's a pretty good engine. Even though all the inside's completely messed up. Hold on a second. So if you have a dirty mind, watch this. Yep. That's totally legit. Is there anything else we need? Okay, yeah, we still need to do timing over here. Man, I don't care about time gear. It's fine. I'm too lazy to fix the one that I just put in over there, so I couldn't be bothered. Idler roller. Let's put in this idler. There we go. crankshaft pulley. So this thing connects to the crankshaft, so it turns everything when the engine is running. Because, you know, from the front, that's what it does, and in the back, the crankshaft turns the flywheel, and then your engine will start to fire, and then it'll turn on. So let's start assembling this stuff. Yeah, you see here, all these pistons are black chrome except for this one. And all these rod caps are messed up too. So I think we might make more horsepower than this engine made at factory. It's just my guess, but I think we might. You put on that oil filter, so part mount, oil filter. There we go. Do we need to put on anything else? No, I don't think so. So let's put it back down. And we're going to do a dyno test once we put some oil in it. Oil fill plug. Fill her up. There we go. Let's check our dipstick here. Dipstick says perfect. So before we send it over there, we need to go into assemble mode for the body. And there we go. You go back to the normal mode. Use. Yeah, it definitely does look a bit better now. Okay, from factory it made 179 horsepower and 214 newton meters of torque. Let's see what Mick here.
In-fucking-credible.
188. So, by mixing a combination of screwed and not screwed, we created pretty much the same amount of horsepower and torque. So, hopefully you like that ass.